Hello, you guys. These days, we are all looking to save money in any way that we possibly can. And my husband and I have made it our goal to save a year's salary. And so I wanted to share our do's and don'ts of how we were able to save a year's salary. And we're actually continuing using these tips moving forward just to be able to save a little bit of money every single month. Do calculate your expenses. Okay, so I'm talking fixed expenses, your rent or mortgage, any car payments you might have, your phone bill, your streaming services, everything that you are paying the same amount of money every single month. Make sure you know what those are. We personally have a spreadsheet with line items of phone, internet, mortgage, whatever, car payment, each lined up with the amount. So we know the total, but we also know each line item. That is key to knowing how to budget moving forward, is knowing what your fixed expenses are. So take time and sit down and really calculate all of your fixed expenses. The first don't is do not eat out as often, okay? I'm not saying never eat out, because there are instances where you kind of need to eat out. However, eating out is stupid expensive, okay? Even fast food takeout is just like the same as sitting down in a restaurant nowadays. Everything is very expensive. We actually have a very specific budget that we stick to for our restaurants, and that is our eating out budget. So we actually have reduced how much we're eating out by a lot. It used to be basically every weekend we would pick something up and eat it at home, maybe go out to dinner, maybe go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, and that habit was pretty tough to break. It's just the convenience of it, right? Just grabbing something on the way home from work, or, oh, I'm feeling like Five Guys burger today, let's go get cheeseburger. Really focusing on not eating out as much has helped us save a huge amount of money. And I'm not saying, again, that you should never eat out. If that works for you, great, don't ever eat out. But not eating out every single weekend or not eating out every single day for lunch, I cannot tell you how many people eat out every single day for lunch. So packing your lunch every day for work would be a huge cost savings to you. So definitely do not eat out as much. Do pay off any big debt. As we are trying to save a year's salary, we made it our goal to pay off one of our cars. That was a pretty big debt that we had. So a lot of these extra money, which I'll get into what extra money is in a minute, went into paying off the car payment. And so once that big debt was gone, we were then able to save even more month by month. Any big debt like that, they allocate more funds to paying off that debt as soon as possible. Kind of going off of eating out, a huge don't for us is using meal delivery apps. Okay, Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, all of it is very convenient. Yes, you can stay at home and someone brings you your food to the door. But as we've already established, eating out is stupid expensive. And then all the fees and delivery and tip, because you should be tipping if you're using any meal delivery service, you need to be tipping. All of that on top of the already expensive food is just a little insane. When we want to eat out, we will go and pick it up and take it home rather than doing the meal delivery service. Of course, there are emergency situations, or, you know, it depends on your situation, but I would argue that the vast majority of us don't need to be using these apps. We are capable of going through a drive-thru by ourselves, or calling in an order, or ordering online and going to pick it up ourselves. Like, using these food delivery apps is kind of like throwing away money with all the additional fees and stuff. And the food is actually more expensive on the apps, so just don't use the apps at all. Do create a budget. Now, these are gonna be your more variable expenses, like your groceries, eating out like we've talked about, maybe your gas. We have things for our cars, for our house, for our dogs. We have all of these different categories. So everything that varies month to month. You need to create your budget to make sure you are saving every single month. We have very specific forecasted amounts for each of these categories. We know how much we're spending on groceries every single month, so that will be our budget. We know how much we're spending on gas every month, so that is our budget. And we try to kind of tighten our budget as the months go on, so you're learning month by month where your money is really going. And any kind of fun purchases that are completely unnecessary, we can look at those and completely cut those out. So for me personally, a big thing that I struggled with at first was anytime I leave the house, anytime I run an errand, I think I should be rewarded with a fun beverage. So that's like a Starbucks coffee, that's a smoothie, maybe a soda. I think I deserve a fun beverage for leaving my house. And a lot of those drinks are expensive, and if you're doing it every time you're leaving your house, like I was, it's going to add up. Just knowing yourself and knowing your weaknesses and strengths, that was allowing me to stick to the budget that we created, because I was looking month by month and like, why am I spending money on this stuff and I don't really need it? And when you're really looking at it too, you kind of see where your money's going. I think laying it out and having a budget for each category was really essential for us to save all that money. Don't spend extra money. Extra money is, I'm putting that in air quotes, would be maybe bonuses at work, maybe your tax return, or you sell something on Facebook Marketplace. Any money that you were not expecting to receive and deeming that extra money is not for you to spend. Oftentimes we get in this mindset of it is extra money, so I can do whatever I want with it. That might be the case to a degree, but we tried to reframe our minds and kind of shift our mindset that this is not extra money to spend, this is extra money to save. This is more money, so we are closer to our savings goal versus, oh, now I can go buy this shirt that I don't really need. Shifting your mindset to not spending this extra money, but instead viewing it as extra money that you get to save that month. Do use grocery pickup. Grocery pickup has been a pretty big game changer in my life. I'm gonna say to an extent. Use grocery pickup to an extent. A lot of times you can do a grocery pickup on Instacart, but sometimes you have a pickup fee. And so I know some stores have no pickup. It just depends on where you're doing your shopping. But doing grocery pickup for me personally has been really, really nice. I still go into the grocery store from time to time, especially if I can't get a free pickup. If I have to pay a fee to pick it up, I won't use it. But I know at the time of filming, Walmart does free pickups, so I do that a lot. And it's so nice for two reasons. One is you can add all of the items in your cart and you can see a total. And what I do, if that total is actually more than I'm wanting to spend, I will go back through my cart and see what I can take out. So sometimes I'll add something fun in there, like I really like cereal, so I'll add a fun cereal, but I don't need it. And if it is putting me above where I want to spend, I just go ahead and remove it. So you're able to do that online in your cart in the comfort of your own home and not in the line at the store in front of everybody, holding everybody up, you know? So that has been really, really nice for me. I know exactly how much I'm spending with the grocery pickup. And second, it has helped me curb my impulse purchases because I'm a big impulse buyer. Because I've been doing this for a long time, I actually don't impulse buy as much, but I know myself, and so doing this grocery pickup, if you're like me and you're a big impulse buyer, will help you not do that. You're not gonna have to deal with any of that if you do grocery pickup, if you're able. So if you are unable to do a grocery pickup, a big don't is don't impulse buy at the grocery store. We've already established that I'm a big impulse buyer. That's why grocery pickup is so beneficial to me. Our grocery bill is where we overspend the most on our budget. When we go over our budget, we know it's because we spent too much at the grocery store. So a lot of that has to do, I think, with impulse purchases. If you plan your meals and you know all the ingredients you're gonna need, you know going into it everything that you need, and if you see something that you want and it's an impulse, like, give it a minute. I always give it a minute. I won't immediately put it in my cart. So I will walk away and continue, like finish my list. And if I still want that item, then maybe I'll go back to it. But I would say 90% of the time, I've already forgotten about it as soon as I walk away from it. So just work on your impulse buying, especially at the grocery store. Not impulse buying things has been wildly beneficial to our savings. They really add up over time, and slowly you'll just creep above your budget. So definitely keep your impulse purchases to a minimum and use those grocery pickups. If I can give one piece of advice, if you remember anything from this video, is track your receipts. I know there are apps that you can scan your receipt and they like take care of it. We manually input them in a spreadsheet. So if I went to Target, I'm manually putting in how much I spent there and watching how much I'm spending. But that, for us and for me, manually putting that in the spreadsheet really holds me accountable to myself because I am like consciously putting it down and seeing how much we're spending, how much money we have left over, and it is very, very beneficial to us. But at a minimum, tracking your receipts, because again, little purchases here and there, I think that's where we go over budget the most as like a society, is because, oh, it's only $10, it's only $20, it's only $15, it's only $2, and we have all these little purchases from all of the stores, and at the end of the day, we don't really know how much we're spending because it's all these little purchases and we're not tracking them. Maybe you're just, you know, paying with your phone and it's all on a credit card statement and you just pay your credit card every month. Like, but instead of doing that, really tracking those expenses, that's when I saw every time I leave the house, I'm buying a fun drink. I am buying something. I'm going to Starbucks. I'm going to the Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Like, I'm going someplace and getting a fun drink. Because I'm tracking my receipts, I can see that. And then you can see really how much you're spending on those. And for me, they were completely unnecessary. For most people, I would argue they're completely unnecessary. Tracking your receipts for us was the most important part of sticking to our budget. And the last don't is don't give up. There are gonna be some months where you overspend. There's gonna be some months where you go over your budget, and there are gonna be some months where you stay within your budget and you're saving money and you're seeing progress, but holding yourself accountable when you do go over, but giving yourself grace at the same time. That's what has kept us sticking to this in the long term, because we've been doing this for quite a while now, knowing that there are going to be some months that are out of your control and you might go over your budget, and just giving yourself grace and not giving up and really trying to shift your mindset into saving, because it is a big mindset and it is difficult. It's difficult to go from spending to saving. At least for me it was. Setting your goal and really pushing towards it is what is going to get you there. So those are my do's and don'ts, my little tips for how we saved money and how we are continuing to save money month by month. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!